People don't listen to you because your voice doesn't move anything. That's the truth. I know it's a hard truth, but it's a truth you must swallow. Listen, it doesn't seduce, your voice doesn't heal, it doesn't linger in people after you're done speaking. And that's the problem, right? That's the problem when we talk about your power and your purpose. A lot of you are speaking just from your mind, but not from your body, not from an activated throat chakra. And I'm trying to see, the question I have is, what does that throat do, right? That's why your words sound empty. But what the charmed siren understands is something ancient. Your voice is spell work. It is your spell. The tone of your voice can soften people, open people, heal people, arouse people, calm people, and command them. That is your power. And most of you are wasting it by rushing your words, right? Talking too much, trying to fill the space and sounding disconnected from yourself. You think being powerful means being louder. Many of you have thought being powerful meant being louder, but we know the louder you are, the more annoying you sound. So no, that's not it. Listen, real power is when somebody feels your voice in their nervous system, when they feel you in their body, when they feel you in their wombs, in their pussies, in their cocks. When the sound of you stays in their body after you leave the room, that is your power. That's charmed siren energy. Whether you are a speaker or a singer, that is your power, right? As a charmed siren, you don't just speak. You enchant. Even the way you sing is different as the charmed siren. When the charmed siren sings, when you sing, it doesn't feel like performance. No, it feels intimate. It feels healing, arousing. Like you're pulling emotion directly out of people's bodies. That is what people feel from you. Because you understand that sound carries energy, and the words you use, the words you sing or speak are spells. That's why certain voices give you chills, why certain singers make you emotional, why one sentence from the right person can completely change your mood. That is the power you have as the charmed siren when you activate and do this work on a root chakra level and raising that power up to your throat chakra. Okay, that's frequency. That is enchantment. That is your power. And some of you have that naturally inside of you. If you're listening to this, it is innate inside of you, but you've buried it under anxiety, under rushing, over explaining. You fear being judged by the power that you carry because of what your throat does. So instead of letting your voice land, you've taught yourself to force it, trying to be heard. And the moment you force your voice, the magic leaves. It wanes, it fades, because that is not your power. Your power is in allowing. The charmed siren never forces. This energy within you doesn't force. She knows when to slow down. She lets silence breathe. The charmed siren drags her words. She uses tone intentionally. She understands that every pause creates tension, and tension is what people are drawn to, is what pulls them in. That waiting, that yearning. That's why when you activate the charm siren, you can say one sentence or sing one line, and it completely shifts the energy in the room. One word can, with the sound of your voice, charmed one. People don't just listen to you. They feel you. When you speak, when you sing, they feel you. They feel every word. And if people can't feel you, if they cannot feel you, they will forget you. But that's not your power. No matter how talented many of you are, no matter how beautiful you may be, no matter how intelligent you may be, your voice is either medicine or it's noise, and that is the truth. So, as you activate in your charmed siren energy, the charmed siren will teach you how to make your voice medicine, right? How to make your voice healing, magnetic, sensual, spellbinding, right? Because once your voice carries the energy of your pussy, yes, you don't have to chase attention anymore. We're going to break that down a little bit. Don't worry, just stay tuned. People will naturally lean into you, and that's when your presence becomes unforgettable. Are you hearing me? So let's get into this message. Welcome to Alcheminity, because turning pain into power, power into pleasure, pleasure into purpose is sexy. I am your host and creator of this colony and the many colonies and the many centuries, sensual sanctuaries we're building around our globe, held around our galaxies at this point. I am your queen bee, Miss Burgess. If you're nasty, listen, aka Legion. Yes, also known as Legion. If you know, you know. If you got your copy of the erotic siren call, okay, then you already know what I mean by Legion. For those of you who fluidly move through all of the 7 sirens, depending on the situation, you already know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then get your copy of the erotic siren call. It's available on my Patreon, okay, for purchase, for download, all right. I don't know if you can actually download it. I think you have to sign in each time to access it. But that's good, because if you've already purchased it, then that means you'll have access to it from here on out, unless the price change, which it will probably evolve over time, because there are going to be video components to that as well. So for those of you who are Legion and you got your copy of the erotic siren call, you already know what I mean. Congratulations on activating your purpose and your power and your pussy. Yes, for the deep, sensual, sacred dives as it relates to your personal development, your well-being, self-help, as it relates to your purpose, your beauty, your magnetism, whatever it is that God is giving you, that the goddesses have given you, that the universe is giving you to do and create and birth in this lifetime. The erotic siren call will help you do that. For many of you listening to this, remember, the erotic siren call means you have an erotic call, meaning that whatever your purpose and your power is erotic. It turns people on in more ways than one. You turn people on in more ways than one. As we're going to get into in this episode, talking about the charmed siren, your voice turns people on in more ways than one, meaning turning them on to who they are, turning them on to their power and to their purpose. We don't mean this just sexually, folks. We don't talk about sex here, not necessarily, but everything we talk about has an erotic tone to it, because everything that is created or built or birthed comes through sensual and sexual energy. Unfortunately, many of us only know that energy is something to fuck with instead of something to build and create with. I can't say too much. Listen, become a member over on Patreon. You'll get the deep dives there. Anyway, welcome to the colony. Shouts out to my Patreon members, to my initiates, and to my come members who have chosen to take a deeper dive. Welcome. Okay, so let's get into this message. In the previous week, we have been going through the 7 sirens that I talk about, that I dive deep into on the erotic siren call. Again, get your workbook available on Patreon. So this week we're talking about the charmed siren. Okay, as you heard me say just a little bit ago. Let me tell you before I get into this message, right? Typically y'all are seeing me, right? In video form, you see me talking to you, see my face, but I felt strongly guided to just do this episode on the charmed siren with just my voice. Hold on, let me take this gum out my mouth. It's distracting me. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. So I felt guided to just do the charmed siren with just my voice, because this is just about seeing what your throat do as you activate in your power and your purpose and your pussy. Okay? Trying to see what that throat do. When you activate, we're trying to see, listen, charmed sirens, your power, your purpose, and the power of your pussy activates through your throat chakra. Do you know that people can experience your erotic energy without ever even touching you, just listening to you? can turn them on. Did you know that? Well, if you don't know, now you know, jigga, right? We know very well who you are. Du, 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 du. I had to do it. Y'all know I had to do it. Listen, charmed sirens, for my charmed sirens, make sure you get up in the comment section and let me know that you are charmed, that you charm through your tantalizing voice. You have the ability to charm. This is why this siren is called Charmed. Her name is Charmed, because you have the power to charm. Yes, to mesmerize. Matter of fact, you are charming. Charmed sirens, you're charming. Your voice is charming. When people hear you, they are charmed by the way you sound. They are spellbound by just the sound of your voice. I don't know if y'all remember back in the day. Okay, it ain't that far back in the day. Shit, I'm only 41, but I just turned 41. Happy birthday to me. I celebrate the entire month of May, by the way. Anyway, so if y'all remember, remember the Quiet Storm? There used to be a radio show called the Quiet Storm, or Midnight Love on BET. Do you remember those voices on those types of shows and radio shows? It would just draw you in. Quiet Storm on Hot 105. Remember she used to say it? Well, for many of you as activated charmed ones, I mean, your callings may be to do voiceovers. Your callings may be to go into radio, to be what I don't know if they still use disc jockey or whatever, right? To be a radio, to be a radio host, to be a host at public events or forums, to be a speaker, orator, or a singer. Charmed ones, you charm through the way that not just you speak, but the way that you sing, the way that you sound. You charm. You draw people in by the way that you sound, charmed ones. Whew. When you open your mouth to speak, people are healed. When you open your mouth to sing, people are transformed. Charmed ones. That is your power as an activated alchemist and chosen one, charmed one. If you're on this journey, remembering what your purpose is, what your power is, remembering the power of your pussy, remembering your erotic power. Because let me tell you something about sirens. The reason why I created the erotic siren call was because for those of you listening to this, for us, our missions and our purposes are erotic. They turn people on. Short story. I was working a flight one day. For those of you that know, I work as a flight attendant. And I was working a flight one day earlier this year. So we're in May. This had to be maybe January sometime, February sometime. And I was doing announcements in the back of the aircraft. And it was, I don't know what I was saying. It was something, right? For those of you traveling with large roller bags, please place that in the overhead bins with wheels or handle facing outward. Keep in mind that overhead bins are shared space, right? So if the one above your seat is full, just use the next available space. If you're seated in an emergency exit row, please review the exit row responsibilities, right? I'm just going through my shit, how I go through my shit, working this particular position. And next thing you know, another colleague, flight attendant, comes to the back of the aircraft where I was, and she says, "There's a gentleman who wants to meet you." And I'm like, "What?" She says, he thought the sound of your voice was beautiful and he wants to meet you. He says he's some producer or something like that. So I'm like, yeah, right. Some motherfucker trying to holler or something like that. Nah, I'm good. And she was like, "I don't know, you may want to check it out." So I said, okay. So we get later in flight, we're in the air, cruising 39,000 feet, y'all. And I said, okay, let me go see what this man's talking about. And I take my business card with me. And I go up to him and I say, "Hey, I was told by the flight attendant that you wanted to meet me." And he says, "Yes, your voice." And he goes on and on to say how amazing my voice sound, how he drew him in, even though I was just saying announcements. He was there with his wife. That was beautiful. It was amazing. Thank goodness. So he wasn't trying to holler. He was much older. Morehouse graduate, man. This person on a Frontier flight has composed for like Disney and Universal and other artists. Okay, a composer at that level. Disney. You hear what I'm saying? All because the sound of my voice drew a person to me that possibly could draw opportunities into my life. that could help me transform my life and the lives of those around me that I love, of my loved ones. That is the purpose of why we activate our erotic missions and our purposes, right? It isn't just about us. It's for those in our orbit that we love. When we talk about turning pain into power, power to pleasure, pleasure to purpose, it's what we're talking about. The reason why we want to activate our erotic purposes is because we want to get out of the shit that we've been in. We want to be able to live financially free, don't we? That's what we deserve now. So charm sirens in order to activate your power and your purpose and bring those opportunities to you, which are money-making opportunities to get yourself out of being broke, broken, stuck, stagnant, delayed. I know the feeling. We got to see what that throat do. Activate your throat chakra, charmed one. Speak the words you are guided to speak. Sing the words you are guided to sing. That is your mission. That is your purpose. Get your copy of the Erotic Siren Call. The reason why you want to activate is to bring yourself out of being stuck, stagnant, to bring yourself out of poverty, if that is the case that you're in right now. Are y'all hearing me? So, Spirit told me not to do these videos too long. Charmed ones. Charmed ones. I'm hearing the song, I am human and I need to be loved just like everybody else does. Y'all remember that? The theme song from the TV show Charmed? I am human and I need to be loved just like everybody else does. Was that from Charmed? I think it was. Loved that show. But yeah, the new Charmed is all right. I like the old school one. I'm sorry. I just like the Tori Spelling old school one. But anyway, Charm ones, okay. I want to go back. Spirits want me to reiterate on something. People can feel the power of your pussy through your voice. Remember, you're activating erotic purposes and it turns people on. The reason why you're activating erotic purposes is because you've awakened your pussy's power. Your pussy's power is your purpose. Your pussy's power is the power that you raise up to activate your throat chakra, charmed ones. To activate your crown, grace. To activate your third eye, mystics. To activate your honey siren so that you can receive. To activate your sunshine siren so that you can shine on them like you're motherfucking supposed to. Divine feminines, no more hiding. It's time to sing. It's time to speak. It's time to bring those songs, to bring that poetry to the forefront. I'm hearing flowetry for some of you. You are poets and you're singers, right? I'm hearing the group poetry. All you gotta do is say yes. Don't deny what you feel. Let me undress you, babe. Open up your mind and just rest. I'm about to let you know you make me so. Yeah. Some of you, the poetry, they were flowetry because they were poets. They were poets. And they sung their poetry. They were spoken word artists. They sung their spoken words, is what I'm saying. That is your mission. And you turn people on when you speak or when you sing. And that is okay. You are supposed to turn them on. That is your power. And your power is going to take you out of poverty. Maybe I should title this From Poverty to Power. I don't know. Anyway, get up in the comments if this is your message. Type charmed one. Type charmed. Type charming, because that is you. You enchant the sound of your voice. It is arousing. It is magnetic. It is sexy. It is powerful. And it is going to bring you out of poverty. It is going to bring you out of struggle. It is going to bring you into your beauty, into your power, to your purpose. Anyway, if this resonated, make sure you like this, okay? If you're new here and you hear my voice for the first time, make sure you subscribe, okay? Become a member over on Patreon, all right? You get your deep dives there on Patreon. For those of you who have emailed me to work one-on-one, I am going through all of the emails. I am responding to those of you who are ready to activate your erotic siren because you are ready for your purpose, because you know your purpose is calling you into the limelight. It's calling you on the stages. It's calling you to the forefront, to the spotlight as leaders and rulers of yourselves, drawing people into your orbit. as you're supposed to. That's your mission. Anyway, if you're ready to work one-on-one with me, I am responding to those emails. For those of you who are ready, go ahead and email me. The information is in the description box, okay? You know you have an erotic mission and purpose. You know that you're supposed to be in your beauty and your magnetism. You know this. You know you're supposed to be looking a certain way, walking a certain way, talking a certain way, smelling a certain way, even tasting a certain way, because that's your mission. That's your power. Email me. Information's in the description box. Don't forget to get your copy of Activate. It's available on Amazon and paperback only. Okay, ebook is no longer available. Paperback only. Until then, I'll see you over on Patreon. Until next time. Ciao. Charm sirens.